Oh, I forgot to open the door. Soka, soka. Hang on a sec, let me go open the door. It's a bit chilly, but I think it's okay. I'd rather have the nice background sound. The paper's out, thank you. Thank you for the reminder. Ray-chan and Sugi-san, their paper is out. Okay, pasting on the next two. We've got the blue for the water, and I forget what this one is. This is pink. As we said the other day, the bunch of blocks we've got here are all taken from the same tree, the same plank. So there's no big difference. There's no specific defects to watch out for. These can just go straight down. Let's see, put the water over there. Let's do that. The paper is out, yes. So what do we got today? It's going to be a fairly quiet stream, I think. It's Thursday today. Cameron will be here at his usual time, I assume. I've got some show and tell. I've got some small show and tell things. Over the past few days, there's been a nice bunch of little things on some of the internet auctions here. Not so much the dealer auctions, but on the internet auctions. We picked up a nice few things on Yahoo. Time to make a tap. Any new people here, we're going to make one short, sharp tap. If you have headphones on, please be careful. There's going to be a sharp noise. I'm going to count down to it. 3, 2, 1. Yesterday was a good fun day. We had 4 parties, a full crowd. Just the shop was jammed all day long. Laughing people. We're clearly deep into our spring cherry season. We're sold out again today, totally sold out for print party space. We're turning people away. Yesterday afternoon in the shop, people who were visiting who didn't know about our work, they just come in off the street, see what's going on. Because the party room is open, the visitors to the shop see that going in on the back, and they hear the noise and chaos and laughing and whatever's going on. So they take a peek at it, and of course the next thing they do is they go up to the sales counter and say, "Hey, can I do that? What's the deal?" And the staff there tells them, "I'm sorry, but we're sold out today. Here's next week, or next week is available." And the answer is always the same: "I'm leaving tomorrow. We can't do that." So if we had more space and more staff and more whatever, we could just do endless print parties, just endless. We could become a print party, whatever. We can't do that, of course. So. Yeah, reserved for next year, exactly. That's almost about how it works. And we do get people who say, "Okay, well, I'm coming back later, we'll come again." So they do. The longest, what is it, the farthest advanced reservation we've got right now, I think, is for December. We've got a couple for December. People have got their travel plans. But some of the staff, you know, I think I might have mentioned this before, some of the staff, they're trying to get a bit restless with this. The parties are indeed hard work. And when we opened the Asakusa shop, the parties were there, but not an overwhelming part of our life. And some of the staff now are getting a bit, what's the word to use? They're getting a bit beaten up by this. And some of them are now saying to me, Dave, we should close the party thing. We don't need it anymore. We can just be a normal shop. People come in, look at stuff, and maybe buy stuff, that's all. Because it's hard work, and I can't say they're all tired of it. We're doing a good job with it, but they're starting to give me pressure to drop that. And that they're thinking it was important to bring people in our early days, but now we don't need it. And I hear their point, but that's not why we do those things. They're not here to catch people and to bring people in and to get more money. They're here to show people what prints are about. We know where she's going now. She was kind of quiet today, actually. I wonder if she's got different shoes. Okay, another bang, another tap. Second and final tap of the day. Again, warning, short, sharp tap coming on the count of 3. 3, 2, 1. Talking about the shoe lady there, you know, Cameron and I yesterday, we were really trying to figure out what on earth she's doing, because it sort of doesn't make any sense. She comes in on the same train line, we presume, that, well, one theory is that she comes in on the same train line the camera does, gets off that station, then walks to the Ginza line, Asakusa station. That's okay, that makes sense, somebody just transfers trains. But the express line that she's getting off does actually connect with the subway system at the next station and the next station. So the next 2 stations that she could have got off at do connect with the subway system. And also Kitasenju, 2 stations before Asakusa, also connects with the subway system. So okay, so that means she wants to connect with the Ginza line, which is why she gets off here. But when you get off here, the Asakusa Ginza line station and the next Ginza line station, Tawaramachi is closer. Why would she walk the longer distance, 800 meters instead of 500 meters? Well, one theory is that to do that, that's the terminal station. So when you get on the Ginza line at Asakusa station, you have a chance to sit down. If you get on at Tawaramachi station at this time of day, you can never sit down, because by then the train is already too crowded. So the implication is that she walks the extra distance to make sure she gets a seat, because she's going to be going a long distance, perhaps right to the other end of the Ginza line. But when you do that, it's much faster to get off the express at the next station, get on the Oweido line, and that'll get you to the other side of town much faster. So none of it makes any sense. Anyway, enough of that. I'm sure there's a totally mundane reason for all of it, but could she be working at the station itself? That's an idea, actually. So maybe she works at Ginza Station, Saxa Station on the Ginza line. I didn't think of that. That's right. Although nobody who's working at rush hour would arrive at rush hour. You'd have to be there. Yeah, I didn't think of that one, yeah. Can you imagine stopping her and asking her this stuff? We've tried to figure out blah, 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 blah. She'd be on to the police in seconds. My God. Okay, there's the prep. There's 2 more bucks. For those of you who are new here, let's pop up something for a minute. This is the image of the print in question. You can see perhaps the block I've just done here. This is going to be the block that does the purplish pink you see on the print to the left. You can see, for example, this is the front of the person's clothing. It looks like a she, I guess. I have the image that this is a female. I don't really know. Does it matter? I don't know. So it's a purplish color, and it's there, and it's also on the flowers. And the part you see highlighted with the yellow highlighter, this is the part that will be left behind, and we'll remove all the wood. So we're leaving this part, and we'll take away this part. The other side has the area for the blue. You can see the blue water at the top. It's here highlighted in yellow-green, and then at the bottom, of course, the same. Okay, there's a lot of small places in this one, so let's pull in the scope. We did it yesterday under the magnifying glass, and it was okay, but I wandered quite a bit here and there. So let's put this one under the exact, so we can keep exactly where we are. There's the focus spot. So it's going to be a good place to start. Let's go. What's the chat here? What's the chat? The one bar on the frame she is holding does connect correctly. Okay, let's get busy. Noisy suitcase. But yes, funny, the coloured works of Katska Oe, I know Hokusai's daughter, I don't think there's prints left. She did some painting, right? Some of those are left in museums here and there. I don't know much about that. I don't follow that sort of news, really. There's discussion about how much she helped him, how much of the work that was done was hers and his, I don't know. With any, he clearly didn't have a major studio for most of his life. But with any studio situation where you have a major artist with lots of apprentices around, then a lot of the work put out under the name of the head guy was actually done by the apprentices. In his case, he did have apprentices at various stages of his life. His daughter was clearly there. So how much of the work is hers and how much is his, whatever, nobody knows. There's somebody going up the stairs behind me. Well, it's almost probably Suga-san. I got her paper out, so we're okay. She's working today she'll be working on the printing for the May print in this year's subscription series. The Stone Lantern print. It's another kind of a quiet one. Well, they're all going to be quiet this year, obviously. These are not boss fights. And she's working on the May print. And we had, the difficult part about working on that one. You've seen it on Jed's Instagram page. It's a stone lantern in a sort of a garden environment. And we mentioned yesterday the overlaying of the colors. There are places here where A plus B plus C and stuff, where it goes 8 times. And so there's parts of the paper that are printed 8 times. And that's kind of a bit too much, but so they had real trouble with testing, because by the time you get the 7th and 8th layer, the pigment doesn't really want to go inside the paper anymore. So the Photoshop doesn't care. The Photoshop master just keeps putting more and more and more on it, doesn't care. But that's not how the way paper really behaves. So we've had to adapt it a little bit. And in the Yoshida prints, the Yoshida and Hasui prints that have multiple overlays, by the time you've got to 7 and 8 overlays in any particular area, what you're really looking at is just deep shadows and toning and general muddiness. There's no clear coloring by the time you've got 8 overlays. And what Jed has given us is a design that has 8 overlays, but also clear coloring. the 7th and 8th colors are actually clear, determined, definite colors that are different from each other and that are a major part of the design. But for us, it's difficult to keep the purity of the color once you've got 7 different overlays on top. So the girls have struggled with that a little bit. Not a little bit. A little bit of the same thing happened in the April print, the Night Cherry Blossoms. It wasn't 8, but I forget the maximum levels are there, and the clarity really starts to disappear. We got away with it in that one because it's a night scene, so it became gloomy and a bit blurred, because that was the effect we want. But the May print, the 5th print, is the daytime. It's shadows under bright sunshine, and it has to be clear. There's got to be clarity. And clarity plus 8 color overlays doesn't. It's not words you use in the same sentence. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Okay here, didn't watch what's going on. Did Subi-san peek in at the camera? I didn't see that, I'm sorry. She usually comes from the other direction, what would be right on your screen. So she doesn't have to step in front of the camera. She can come from the right and head up the stairs. The girl's right hand in the bottom picture. Do we have to look at something here? The girl's right hand in the bottom picture. The part of the frame she's holding doesn't connect to the part of the frame farthest away from her. No, I think it's covered by water. You mean there's a gap in the water there. There's a gap in the waves that maybe the frame should go through. Do I need to worry about this? I don't know if we need to worry about that or not. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'm going to leave it in the blue here. That's the place right here. What we're saying here is this part of the top of the wooden frame, which is not on this block, would come through this area, maybe right there. And maybe it would. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to keep it on the blue block from here right now, just to make sure we get no problems. It doesn't appear on this block, because this is the purple block, so it's not there. But when I get to the brown block, the one that will be the hada, the skin color, and this, what I might do is I might carve it there just for fun, just to put it there, to give me my options available, and we can check it during test printing. So okay, fair enough. Fair enough. So yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe that frame should go through at this point. My guess is what happened, John was doing waves and changed the waves and moved the waves and changed them around and maybe missed this bit. We'll see. Thanks for the tip, and we'll see. That's something else too. There's a bit of distortion. I mean, this left bar looks like it's very close to the end of the frame. And this bar is a long way from, we can't even see the end of the frame at this end. And normally those two bars, they would be whatever, equally spaced from where you are, of course, holding left and right. So I think we've got a fair amount of artistic license here. But yeah, thanks for the tip. Let's have a look at it when I do that next skin colored block. Maybe I'll see what it looks like. There's no end to these, you know, no end. Whenever you find one, you find one more, you find one more. There's no end to these things. This blue, you know, the blue of the water could, I think, have been left in. It could go under this green. But we made the decision the other day to cut it out and keep the green isolated. If we underlay the blue, if we run the blue under the green, then we're limited in what kind of green we can print. It's always going to have quite a strong blue tone. So by keeping it out of here, we can go with a fresher green if we want. But that would have been one more way to cut the block count down here. To run the blue under this green and to run the woody color, which is sort of yellow, under the green. We could have probably got away with it. But okay, this way leaves more flexibility for the color choices in the finished print. among the people who visited here yesterday, the people who did the parties, there was a group from Germany, good fun, 6 people, great good fun. So, and one of them there, and also in the next group too, two of the parties yesterday had people who are patrons, part of our Patreon campaign. And actually one of them, they didn't even mention this when they came in. They just came in and did the print party and whatever. And it was only when we were chatting at the end of it, they asked if they could take a picture. And I'm like, oh sure, okay, whatever. And they said, we've been supporters of your Patreon campaign right from the beginning. So, of course, I'm thank you. I didn't realize. So. And it was interesting, the young lady who said, we've been supporting your Patreon campaign right from the beginning, she said, we really, really, really enjoy those little prints. They're so wonderful, getting those little prints. And that's what I'm covering right now. This is the pair of prints that will be the Patreon chibis for 2019. And having the comment yesterday, it a little bit changes the way you think about when you're making these, you know. For me, as a very, very experienced printmaker, a little print like this, there's no specific challenge. It's just a question of, okay, go through the motions here, do the job, carve the lines, and then we'll do the printing when we get there, you know. There's no specific challenge on this one. Sometimes when we're making prints, some of the things are really quite difficult to do, and the work gets challenging because it's something we've never done before, or we're wrestling with too many colors, or whatever. A little pair of prints like this, there really isn't too much of a challenge to it, because obviously we're trying to keep the costs down, we're keeping things reasonable. So having her comment yesterday was a good thing for me to hear, you know, because it will be all too easy just to turn the brain off and say, no, I've got to get this done, got to get this over with, that kind of a thing. It would be maybe easy to slip into that kind of a mood and feeling, but having the occasional reminder now and then that even though this is a really, really simple little print, and I know I'm going to be able to get through to the end of it, and I kind of know what it's going to look like, there's not going to be any surprises at this end. Even though we know that, we still have to remember that at the end of the day, someone's going to open the package, oh, here's the next print from Mokohan Khan. They're going to look at it happily and carefully, and it's just interesting to have had that reminder again yesterday. No matter how small and whatever simple some of these things are, they're going to be enjoyed and looked at carefully, treasured by some people, and do the job properly. It was also a hit for her to actually see the block on the bench. There's the block that's going to be the print she'll receive a few months from now. Okay, have I got it all? I think I might have got it all. Oh, there's that one corner up here. I am going to forget that. I am so going to forget this. This is going to be trouble. There's a tiny little bit of blue. If I'd have noticed this when John gave me the original, I would have asked him to take it out. Up in the top image, the water image, top right-hand corner of the original image, here we are. This bit of blue here. Do you see this on the image over there, right? And this is so easy to forget and to miss. I've got it now. I put a little arrow to remind me, and I've remembered now. But when we're persuading, when we're banging around with the chisel, it's so easy to tear this off. Place your bets now on whether that will be blue in the finished print or whether I'll miss it and it'll be white. I don't know. So, place your bet, 73%, who knows? I'll do my best, I'll try, but whatever, no guarantees. Maybe we'll have a special stream on block repair. I'll have to put a shim in there. The printers are also not going to be so happy about it either because it's so small, it requires really tiny, delicate pressure. And they're going to be rubbing here fairly firmly because of this wide area. And yet that thing's up there, and if they rub firmly and bang, it'll make a blue mark on the boardwalk. So they will not be happy. In fact, one of them will probably almost certainly ask me, Dave, why did you take that out? Why did you leave it there? You know, you're a professional, you know how to do this. And the answer will be, I'm sorry, that's what the designer called for, so it's our job just to do it. And I know John's personality. If I'd have asked him, John, can I take that out of there? Can we just move the boardwalk up another fraction? He would have said, sure, go for it. I'm not in love with that, it's okay. But it's done now, the die is cast. Okay, I think we've done the cutting on this one, right? Everything's around. Oh no, we've got to get the reflections, so not reflections, the ripples. That's the question here. Traditionally, did the carvers have a say in the print design? No, nothing. They had nothing to do with designing in any way whatsoever. Never, not a speck, and you can quote me. By the time it got to the carver's bench, the thing is traced and drawn and every line and detail are on there, with one exception I'll mention in a minute. They just cut the lines. Pretty much the same as what you see me doing right now. It's the carver's job just to reproduce what he sees in the tracing. And the one little exception to that is that sometimes, in the case of fine hairlines, the hairlines that you see, you know, this part of the hair of an ukiyo print, it was the carver's job to straighten it up and neaten it up, because the designer and the people preparing the tracings, it's not necessary for them to tinily delineate each tiny little 1 hair, 2 hairs, 3 hairs. There'd be cases where they just do a wash. Hi, here, carve hair, here. It's obvious the carver knew what to do. So he would then take his chisel, his knife, and slice the hairs one by one by one by one by one. So the hairs would not be drawn one by one on the tracing sheet. Just the area to put the hairs would be delineated. And the carver knows what to do, just carve hairs. But that's pretty much the only exception, I think. is one more you could think of, and I'm not so much in Edo era carving, but when it moved into the Meiji era, there's places where on the original tracing there would be a dry brush stroke. The brush would run out of pigment but dry, and the carver is supposed to replicate that, the dryness, the speckled. And he would not have to carve every dot 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 he sees. He would carve a straight line first and then rough it up, smash it with the knife. And that wouldn't replicate the exact dot dot dots from the tracing, but it would replicate the look and feel, the mood of it. Somebody's on the phone out there, you're hearing half of a phone conversation. Cool. Who's there at it again this morning? Eh? Some days they seem to be in a different place, and some days they're hanging around this song. Maybe it's related to the garbage pickup days. I don't know. Okay, I think this block is now cut, ready for persuading, but we're not going to do that. We're going to move down to the other half of the seaside, the water side. But I think we're done here. Let me just check again. Yeah, I think we're done. Okay, let's move down to the paper making. Messages. Do you remember any of your prints with the dry brush technique? There's a bunch of them. The best known one is the scent of chrysanthemums. You know, the one, the Kuchie reproduction I made had lots of dry brush everywhere. All the main strokes of the kimono are dry brush. The hair is full of dry brush. That's number one. Then in the Surimono albums, there's one with just calligraphy in the 5th set. That's a ton of dry brush. What else? I don't remember. Cameron's late, 9 o'clock. Look at this. He's late. Did I have an email from him saying there's a problem? The kid is sick or something? Oh, he did say, I'll be in a bit later than usual today, but I am indeed coming. There you are. You have it from him himself. The 2 rollerbacks, did we see him today? I didn't notice. Oh, here he is.
Finally here.
Huh?
Finally here.
They've been worried, like, is he okay? Is he dead? Is there a train crash? What's going on?
Nah, we're all
The internet is watching you.
I know.
They watch the shoe lady, they watch you.
It's kind of weird.
And they're betting, they're saying here, they're betting it's going to be a crash here. When Cam arrives, the stream will die. What do you think will happen today? I think
we'll be okay.
we'll be okay.
You rhymed.
I can grab the computer. Did it die? No. Shake some more. Did it die?
Sincere spirit of Asakusa Geisha.
What's this? Type the name in the chat for me to look in the catalog. I'm not sure what you're talking about. I don't know.
Which print are you talking about?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
If you tell us the name, we'll tell you the name so you can look it up.
Well, the camera's probably focused on your face or something.
Yeah. Here.
I was a bit confused. Somebody asked me about dry brush because we mentioned it earlier. And the question was which print did I have a lot of dry brush? And one was the scent of chrysanthemums.
Oh, okay.
That one, but no, I think that's what they're asking about now.
Ah, okay. Which is now not...
No, it's not in the catalog, is it? Is there a link to it or something? I don't remember. Oh, okay. If you link to woodblock.com...
Shiki.
Yes,
Yeah.
bingo, that's it. That wasn't a very good link, but that's it. Whatever.
So just woodblock.com/shiki.
Yeah,
That should do it.
yeah, and it's
Try that. It might give you HTTPS because I forgot Twitch adjusts the links that I send. So make sure it's not HTTPS.
Sorry. And it's the autumn print. Once you get to that part of the website, it's the autumn prints. But I think if you type in http://
Right.
it's okay. But if you just leave it
Yeah,
off,
but I
a lot of it.
left it off
Ah.
because I thought it was...
Lazy guy.
Yeah. Before working at Mokuhankan, I had never typed the characters HTTP in a row. I just had never felt it was necessary.
Browsers do it, you mean?
Yeah. But now, yeah, I see how often they mess up our links, so I usually have to do it. Thanks, Koringami.
This wood, is this shadow, is that in, what's this? This is blue, and that shadow is going to be blue shadow or wood shadow?
Let me pull up the image.
It's, yeah.
Looks like it has some purple in it, so does that mean it needs blue?
Okay, good enough, fair enough. Thank you. Because we're using the blue for the brown, the dark brown as well. So anything that's dark brown is going to be on this block. So.
Oh, in that corner, though, it looks more gray, but is it a blue and gray mixed together? What is this?
It's the reddish in it. It's the blue and it's a lilac.
Okay.
Ours is not going to look like that because Jet used to multiply.
Oh, okay.
Not Jet, Johnny must. Johnny must use. I'm sorry, take his name in vain. Sorry about that. Jet doesn't use multiply, but Johnny must use multiply layers in Photoshop, which is not how we would do it.
Creates different colors than it does with the buttons.
So I'm not sure if we need you down here today or not. It's still short. It's going to be Shiba-san today and Hosono-san.
Oh, okay.
Just the two of them.
Yeah.
And me.
Yeah. So it's still one more than we had yesterday. But...
And Kira-san is here, but I'm not sure which job to assign her. I think we'll probably need her downstairs.
Watching more parties, or
watching her at the register, but
yeah.
I can't trust her at the register. She's just not ready for
She's
that
new,
yet. Yeah. So I'm not quite sure how to assign things today.
Okay. Well, I can be down here again. I was able to get all those images uploaded and added a lot more prints to the store in between.
I'm still getting error messages. It's full for NS63.
63?
Yeah, NS63.
Okay, take a look, because that was one I tested several times and eventually got it. I did first upload them accidentally with the file type JPEG instead of JPG.
Okay.
And so
what are you using to make the JPEGs? What software?
That was... I don't remember how that happened the first time.
If you're just exporting from Photoshop and asking save as JPEG, that's awful because the file size is way, way, way too large.
Right. No, I wasn't using that. I think first I copied it straight off the camera.
That would be gigantic. What do you mean?
Well, and then I was resizing it from there. Using... Oh no, these ones were scanned. So I think the scanner's original file was JPEG, and then I just removed the E's and resized them and.
Oh, so you're letting the scanner make a JPEG file? Oh, that'll be way too big. No.
Yeah, so that's why I've resized them.
Run it once through Photoshop.
Yeah.
Use the Save for Web. It's really efficient.
Yeah, I crushed them down after that, but they were just leaving the
name.
What's the word? Yeah, the name at the end. So.
File type. Anyway, there's still about NS69. I'm getting error messages from it. So somewhere along the lines. Is the page still marked as not available, or is it?
Check. Yep, 69 is off right now, so it shouldn't be getting any. 63. 63 has an image. But maybe they were still leftover errors from when I had the wrong file type up first.
Well, the error isn't for JPEG. It's that it couldn't find JPG. So.
Right, meaning I had put up a JPEG, so it was looking for the wrong picture.
We have a bit of a show and tell today. Actually, I have way more than I can possibly use.
New deliveries?
Yeah. Actually, part of it, the same guy, the place I got those, the 4 prints we looked at yesterday, the ones that were the old poetry and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. He had a couple more. He's been putting them up bit by bit, day by day by day. They feel that's the way to maximize their revenue. I don't know if that's true or not. But. And we got another interesting one. It's an ad, a flyer. You know the flyer we sent out we delivered to the mailboxes.
Right.
What's the word? Bira. In Japanese. I don't know what it's called, bira.
Oh,
A pamphlet that you put in the
yeah.
mailboxes and stuff. We got one of those from, it looks like late Meiji, for a kimono company, that sells fabric for making kimonos.
That's pretty cool.
And it's in the package here. It came, just haven't opened it yet. So
Okay.
we're going to do an unboxing. So.
Got it. Remember when you had to go to Google's website to do a search, and now you think something in Google just gives you the answer? Remember when Google search engine actually worked as intended? Yes, lately it's been irritating me. I'll type something, and it'll say, we gave you results minus the words that you typed. I'm like, but I wanted those words. I put them there
So,
deliberately.
We had that yesterday. Shiba-san and I were trying to find something, and it kept doing it with it crossed off.
Yeah.
Minus this. Did you really want to search for plus?
Yes, that's why I typed
it
it.
in. Yeah. So, that's curious. I wonder why that is. Is that because those people didn't buy ads or something, or I don't know what the...
Maybe too many people misspell things or want close enough results, but I type exactly what I'm looking for. So don't pick and choose the keywords that I'm...
But one thing is, if you do put too much into the search bar, it really does cripple the results sometimes. Yeah, we had that yesterday. We were frustrated by that.
Yeah. Gotta go today, alas. Bye, folks. See ya, Vivid KP. She's the one coming in a couple days, isn't it?
Soka, to do some work upstairs. You
Yeah.
know? Yeah. Is it sheet?
I think she, yeah.
A couple of days. Am I supposed to be preparing? Am I supposed to get something ready?
I think it's April 1st. And today's the 28th of March.
Oops,
so
okay.
Coming up.
Yeah, remind me about that later. Let's try and sort out upstairs bench
Okay.
and stuff. Ouch. So, with the parties now, I'm just everything except party. I'm just get everything. We have a 4 today. We have a 4 o'clock when Kira-san booked it for some friends.
Oh, yeah.
And like, I don't kind of think she should have done that in that daylight today. You know, whatever. Teiko-san's off. We're short-staffed, and she books a party for her friends. I would rather she save that for June or something.
That did, yeah. Quieter time.
Or when she herself can do it. Right?
Yeah.
So she booked it and stood back and said, will you guys do this for my friends? And I'm like, oh, okay, thank you.
Reminiscing about the good old days of the internet.
Good old days of the internet.
AOL child discs in them hail.
I don't think that's the good old days.
Free frisbees every week.
Oh, I just can't. We've all been watching, you open a web page and you watch the image
Yeah.
move down pixel by pixel by pixel, right? I mean, are you that old?
Yeah.
I don't know, you know. So. Watching images load.
Did anyone ever buy WinRAR? Your trial ended 1,486 days ago. Would you like to buy a license? Sounds about right.
But those CDs were the joke of the planet, the AOL.com CDs. They must have, my God, they must have been producing those in China for huge factories in a row. The world's consumption of plastic to make those CDs.
Yeah.
They were everywhere.
Everywhere.
What's a CD? CD-ROMs, is that? Whatever they were. You couldn't open a magazine or a computer magazine or anything without a couple of those discs falling out.
Yep. Never once used one. I don't even understand. What did the CD have to do with connecting to the internet? I don't get how it worked, but just install some software to connect directly to their system or something.
Well, it must have assumed that the computer was connected, or was it? I don't know how far back we are.
Yeah.
settings and stuff like that. Oh, God, I don't talk about this. Talk about something else.
Talk about something else. Okay. Someone give me a new topic.
Well, we have a show and tell, so should we? What time is it? I don't know.
9:14. I was way late.
Wait,
Yeah.
well, you're way late. Soka, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's do that one. Let's do
Okay.
that. Okay. Linda, it's time to get to work almost. What do we
Yeah.
have?
How far are you in Dragon Ball Super? I finished it. Except the next book comes out in 2 weeks, so I'm waiting for that. And it's the last book.
It's been decided, has it?
It's been fun. It's childish. But
No, I mean, it's been decided that it's ending?
decided. Yeah, because the show already actually finished, but the comic version of the plot hasn't all been published yet. How many layers did he put on in that?
Well, enough. I'm happy with this. It looks like pretty good packing. Some of
Yeah.
the auction guys just
Slap
put
it
it in a
together,
plastic
right?
bag and roll it up and hope for the best. This guy's done a good job. I'm
Yeah,
not
yeah.
complaining about this at all.
No, I'm just surprised. 4 pieces of
Yeah,
tape
yeah,
in the
yeah,
same
whatever.
spot, but
It's my exercise for the day. Oh, by the way, doing this reminds me, I packed the 3 big Yoshida prints last night.
oh, thank
It
you.
took me about 2 hours to do them all,
Oh
but they're
my
all done.
goodness.
No, they're done. You can see them over there. They're strong, super tight,
Wow.
waterproof. Yeah, ready to go.
Okay,
But there you go.
thank you. And I know I need to redo one of the invoices. Yeah, sorry about that.
No. Just I think that should be the policy. I think
Yeah,
from now on.
makes sense.
And I think that one is a mistake.
Yeah, I think so too. But wow, I seriously got that packed well.
Yeah, I'm not complaining. It's wonderful, wonderful, professional, obviously.
Yeah.
The dealer.
Any responses to our flyers that we put in mailboxes? Not that I've heard.
Not that
of.
I've heard of. No. Nobody loves us, Cameron.
No. Sad.
Hoi, 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 hoi. Okay, not to complain. This is a good packing. Not to complain. I'm on camera. I wasn't checking out.
Yeah, right in the way.
Oh, also,
Ohayou
good morning.
gozaimasu.
Thank you.
If you send me a flyer here in Texas, I will love you from afar. Thanks, Deadshot DJ.
Let's get in here before the stream ends.
Yeah.
Talk about Japanese packaging.
Wow. Just keeps going. I've never put as much effort into anything in my entire life as this guy did packing this.
But he got here safely. Oh, here we say, oh,
Very
look
nice.
at this. This is an advertising flyer. And it's not dated. Looking at it, going by the type of printing and the type of design and stuff, it's Meiji 25, Meiji 30, something like that. It's woodblock printed. And it's from a shop or a company that sells rolls of fabric for making kimonos.
Huh.
And what they're calling is futomono ten. Futoi mono.
Yeah.
Nobody sold kimonos as a kimono. You walk in and there's the kimono hanging there, you
Yeah.
put it on and you pay your money, walk out of the
Right.
store. You still do. When you buy a kimono, you don't buy the thing
Pre-made
all
one,
put together.
yeah.
You buy the roll of fabric. So
Yeah.
when you're looking at the shop might have some made up stuff, kimonos looking
They
there.
do what
You
they
can
might look
try it
like,
on. And when you want it, you're actually buying a single roll of fabric which has enough meters to make a normal standard kimono. And then of course the shop will, if you want, the shop will make it for you.
Yeah.
In the old days, women would take it home and sew it up themselves. So futomono is the fabric rolls for kimono. So the shop that did kimonos and accessories, whatever, the futomono is the rolls. Then there would be komono, small stuff, and that would be the hair accessories and slippers and all the other stuff.
Maybe that would be.
And I wrestled with this with Oisan the other day, and there's katakana mixed in with kanji.
I was noticing that
And
too. And
we're
wondering,
like, what? And all we can guess is it must have been a usage at the time when the word sale was coming in. There's no way you pronounce this as se in any pronunciation, but it's ru. As this was say, it would be seiru. It's a sale that's going to be going on. But in Meiji 1895, I don't think they were using the word from the West, sale.
Right.
So nobody I've talked to can figure out what on earth this is.
Yeah.
So we'll give it an investigation. We'll throw it out in the stream, and on Monday, when Doi-san's here, we'll have another crack at it. This is the name and address of the shop. It's Asai. This guy's first name. Morning, Kira-san. I can't read the first name, but the guy's name is Asai. It's the Asai business, and it's in Osaka, Osaka City. And the print is just drop dead. It's drop dead. Can you see this, Cameron-san? Are we washed out? I'm not quite sure. There's embossing on this flower. There's gradations here and there. There's gradations everywhere. The rich calligraphy. It's done with Nuno Mezuri in the background. It's an expensive woodblock print. And it's just simply
An ad.
an advertising flyer. And what they would have done with it, I don't know. My guess is it would have been stuffed in newspapers or stuffed in magazines. And it's been folded in four. 1, 2, 3, 4. So chut, 1, 2, 3, 4. The same way as we've got the little flyer that we put out for our thing the other day. You're zoomed in way too close. I think, whatever.
I was trying to get some texture on this flowers, but now I'm getting some.
So we get our little flyer here, we fold it in 3 and stuff it in mailboxes. This one must have been folded in 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and stuffed, I don't know where, put into a magazine or a newspaper or something, I haven't a clue. And again, it went up for auction the other day and nobody else wanted it, nobody's interested in this stuff. Because, unless you have a specific interest in woodblock prints, this particular object is just not of really interest to many people, An advertising flyer from 1895, like who cares? But just the woodblockiness of it is just so much fun. The colors are a bit funky, it's a bit opaque colors, and this is an Osaka address, so it could have easily been run off in a workshop in Osaka. So. And actually, I think we have the name here in stylized of the factory that made the print, the show. Something Han Seihan. Must be the printing company. An upside down, an old fashioned. Well, I don't know what it's blocked into Chinese Hanko style, So something Seihan. This will be the company that actually did the physical production of the flyer itself. It's even got light gradation on the outside, the blue. And this is Nuno Mezuri. They would have rubbed it over a piece of cloth to give the patterning.
Okay.
So very, very nice. And it's going to have an investigation to see if we can figure out what on earth this says.
Why would they have put so much effort into a simple advertisement? It must have been something more special, right?
No, I don't think so. I mean, what do you mean, so much effort? From our point of view now, to make this thing would cost me thousands of dollars to make this. But back then, when workshops were sitting there with guys who would carve this in a few minutes and print it, it wouldn't have been all that expensive. I mean, remember, there was no color printing per se in those days.
Right.
So what printing there was black and white for the most part, flyers and pamphlets. So this thing would have really attracted attention. The company obviously went to the extra expense to get color in front of people. And I guess maybe it's an upscale place, high expensive kimono fabrics, and the message implicit in this thing is here. Look, this is the care we take with our stuff, and we're high class, and we want you to know about it.
Huh.
I really don't know. I can't. But 1895, whenever this was, there wasn't commercial color printing.
Right.
nobody saw colored pieces of paper on a day-to-day basis. It wasn't in their life at all. No magazines, no newspapers, no TV, no nothing.
Yeah.
So whatever format this came in front of their faces, it was a special, beautiful piece of color. They would look at it, pass it on to somebody else, show it to somebody else, keep it for a while.
Yeah.
And that's
And this
what
one
you are.
survived well over 100 years in nice condition.
So. But the point being, he got eyeballs. I mean, why did people advertise on the internet today with special keywords? They want eyeballs.
Yep.
And that must have been the thinking behind the manufacture of this.
Yeah.
Let's get the eyeballs.
Very nice.
So I guess inexpensive to make and effective in the marketplace.
A question too, I think related to yesterday's question. Could it have been a pre-printed or pre-designed border that was used for multiple advertisements over the years? Instead of making kind of the stock image.
So that's correct too. You know, the once they've carved the blocks for this border thing, then yes, you can put any black block. The black lettering here is totally independent of the image.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess so. Your back is a Shutterstock stack. They print them up by the tens of thousands, and the guy can do short runs of any specific ad. So that's a good point.
Yeah.
It might not be this Osaka company has commissioned the whole thing. You know, they've got to pay for the printing of a bunch of it,
Right.
and the manufacturing company has amortized the carving over a long period of time. That's a good point. Again, we would never know unless we see another one in the market somewhere with the same background and different lettering.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's sort of why we collect these things and put them aside and expose them, so that such things can come to light. You know. Cool. Let's put that away, and we don't have time. We've got 4 packages. No way we have time for all of them. So let's just grab one more. This is the same company. We got those 4 prints that I showed yesterday.
Right.
It must have been from a collection of guy who had an interest in poetry, haiku poetry.
Yeah.
And over the past week, this dealer has been putting up all kinds of stuff from clearly what was the same collection. Most of it's of no interest to me. It's books of poems and books of poetry. Most of it's not even woodblock. A lot of it's just calligraphy and drawing and stuff. But in the things he's putting up are some items that are heavily woodblock. And these are 2 of those today. I think this is the end of what I'll be bidding on his stuff. Nothing else seems to be woodblock related. Unless he's got more coming that we don't know about. We'll see.
Secret items.
So,
Books are just folded up.
well, have a look. That's just a minute. Actually, I don't specifically remember. That one's a book. It's a book/album. I don't remember what this one is.
From 1913.
No, it's his stock number. I think so.
Ohayou gozaimasu.
And he's scribbled on with pencil. That's the opening price he put on it. He actually wrote it in pencil.
Oh.
In the back. Chiba-san, good morning. Hello, hello.
おはようございます。これ今カメラ撮ってる感じ。
今撮ってますね。そうか。ちょっと待ってください。はい。Are we on camera here, Chiba-san? Let me try and get this opened up. We have clearly a New Year's special from a poetry group. And this is a big poetry group. There's got a couple hundred people here involved in this poetry circle. And maybe they're all students of a specific teacher, or maybe it's a get-together gang. This is Taisho, I think. When I saw it on the auction, it was Taisho. Oh, here it is. We can see. If we go down to the bottom end of it here, we have the date. Taisho, I'm upside down. Camera 10, 13, Taisho, no. Do something there. I'm upside down. What on earth is that mess?
What on earth is that mess? That is a...
This is Taisho 10 year, 11th month. I've no idea. It's in Taisho era. And it's all hand carved, and what these are, this is one poem each from the people in the group. So one vertical column here is one poem. And they have, each person's have their little handle name. There we go. And some of these might be the real names of the people. I have no idea. I can't get through all these. They might be the actual person's name, or it might be their handle name in the group. And this will either be haiku or it'll be senryu, satirical poetry. I don't know. Without being able to read some of these, I can't tell. And this is all carved by hand, of course, and printed on one sheet of paper. And if I move the paper up here, one corner has the image, which is a haiga type image. It's a stud. It's nothing to do with ukiyo. It's very brushstroke, very stylized. And this is made as a woodblock print, and that's the designer's name and Dakan. The Dakan is also carved and printed. We've got dandelion. No, this
Yeah,
is warabi
like-
shoots.
yeah.
That looks like warabi shoots. I'm
And
not sure.
dandelions.
Yeah, dandelions.
Things some people might think of as weeds, but so,
And I'm not even counting on all the rest is one poem from each person in the group, and probably up at the top we've probably got Sensei's poem, or the top honchos in the group, their poetry to lead off, and then probably in heavily ranked order
yeah.
all the rest of the poetry in the group. And some poor guy down at the very bottom of the line, his poem is last, but he's probably a newbie in the group, so whatever. And they're all beautifully, beautifully carved, and it's printed on thick. It's almost like cardboard. It's thick, luscious Hosho paper, and this unfortunately has been backed. It's been glued onto another piece of paper behind it, unfortunately, and that's a bit pulpy paper, so I would like to take that off. I'm not sure if I have time to fool around with this, but I'd like to dampen this all and peel that paper off the back.
Speaking of thick paper, did you see some of the prints Numabe?
Yes. We'll be talking about that as it comes, yes. I know Yoshida was trying to do something totally different from what his dad did. He tried to cut, break, and go completely. And he's modeled them after what are called Providence white line prints. We can't, it's a totally different topic from what we're talking about.
I was just really surprised at
Yeah.
how different it was. Interesting topic for later.
Later. So there we have it. We got this first song. It'll go into the collection, just as an example of just carving. How cheap and dirty printing and carving was. And as far as copies, they must have made enough copies of this, everybody would get one.
Oh, okay.
And this may have been something that was also given as a gift to people in another poetry group, or maybe it was something they just did for themselves, and everybody in the group would get one.
Yeah. Interesting. The mic apparently has gotten crackly.
I was rubbing it. No, the paper. It's over here.
it's the
I've been sitting here rubbing the paper on the front of the mic. Sorry about that. Excuse me. The mic is on my desk, and the print is banging the microphone. I'm sorry about it.
Have you ever come across adverts or flyers for Kumihimo? I don't know anything about that. Do you know what that is?
I mean, with the braided cords, the kimono people would reuse in all their decorations. I don't know much about it.
Okay.
Is somebody interested in that? I don't know. Okay. Then the second item in the same, he had two separate auctions. I got them both. This one is nice. This is nice. Oh, hello. Oh my God, we got so many staff members here today. This is, pardon me, yeah. Now this is a nice one. This is nice. A few people did bid on this one. I had to choke a bit and get it. Can you take some of this stuff out of your camera, Sam? Thank you. This is a little book / album / pamphlet, all made with woodblock prints. The cover picture is a woodblock print. The lettering on the front is a woodblock print. And what we have inside, it's a beautiful little album. It's very reminiscent of the Nishinomiya books. Beautifully delicate, soft. There's actually pink clouds here around these white blossoms. Super delicate woodblock printing. And most of the book is devoted to, and again, we have poetry. And I'm not sure, again, I'm just opening it right now. It might be hike poetry. It could be something else, Sanju. It might possibly be tanka. I don't know. And again, simply, it's a group, and they've sponsored the production of the group of the poetry. And each person, it could be their real name, it could be their handle name within the group. Probably handle names. Not too many people have single names. Oh, I know what they've done. It's the same carving time. Here we have Naka. It's this guy. We've got repeats. There's the name of the person or the handle name, and we see this, and it's a repeat of this one.
Yeah.
So to save this one's a repeat of this one, just to save carving time.
Yeah.
And they all know
They
each
couldn't
other.
just get a
This is the same four guys. So exactly, this is the same four guys repeating
Okay.
on this page.
Yeah.
Oh, all the way through. Look at this. So I see. So it saves a ton of carving.
Yeah.
There's the full name of these four guys. So this is just four. Look at this. Looks like just four people, Kevin. See the same names repeating again and again.
This one was the same issue because there were a few spots of two character names.
Maybe. No idea. And look at this. Look at the embossing.
Wow.
Is he showing?
Let me zoom in a bit on that.
こっちの方から入れてるんですね。
Get really close. There we go.
Yeah, right through the names. It's beautifully thick, rich paper, and it's all delicately embossed right across the back.
It's like flowing water. Is that?
I guess so, yeah. On the top of the page is poems. Each poem beautifully, beautifully carved. Down we go, with the person's name / ID at the bottom, and then. And every page is it the same pattern? Should it? I haven't inspected. I guess it's the same block they would use one by one by one. Well, here's the joint. Look at this. Interesting. The joints don't actually match the page fold. Interesting. And also, there's a bit of spacing. Those two are spaced together, so they've screwed up a little bit on how they organize their pages. It's the same four guys.
Busy guys.
Yeah, busy guys. And I don't see a date. This is not a date, Cameron, is it? Something else. This is not a date.
The same name.
No, that's different. Here we are. Oh, this is text. This will be the leader of the group, something. I still see no date. What a production, yeah, poetry book. I mean, if you're nuts about poetry, you and your group make something like this. Must have been such a treasure. Look at this, page after page after page after page. So this goes on and on. Would they have done this once every year, or is this the spring album or something? I don't have any idea.
Another joints.
I've skipped here. There's been joints all the way around. So. Look at this, page after page after page. It's all embossed at the bottom, all with poetry. Handmade books. And this has been, at some point, it's been in a book dealer's shop.
Meijido Shoten?
Yeah, Meijido Shoten. So Kanazawa.
In Kanazawa.
Up in Kanazawa. Up on the Hokuriku.
Yeah.
And we still have no date. No, it's all creased up here. Nani, Kagakuni. This is an address. This is a location. It's all twisted here. But we still have no date. Unless this could be a date written in poetic form. You know, the 60-year cycle of dates. This one.
Make it easy.
So make it easy on us. Yes, exactly. So there we have a nice little beautiful treasure.
Very cool.
Just to show how woodblock printing was used for so many cool things back in that era.
Yeah.
And no expense spared. Just beautiful paper. You can see it's embossed and embedded in every character. Is just beautifully embossed.
Yeah.
Okay, there we have it, sir. Okay. We're putting together bit by bit a really pleasant collection of these beautiful objects, you know. I wish I had more skill at knowing more about what they were internally, but whatever, that's not my skill set. But as we grow this collection, we'll get people involved who do understand more about the actual contents of the objects we're looking at. So we'll have different skill sets involved here, how they were made, how they were carved, and then more about what they actually are internally. Okay, it's getting busy. There's noise, there's sweeping, there's all stuff going on. I think I can join the group here and get busy. What's today? Today's Thursday. Friday.
Yep.
I'll be back here same time, same station, working on these same wood blocks, keeping at it. It'll be a few days worth still to go on this. Thanks for watching, guys. A bit chaotic today, whatever.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks for joining. Okay.